Hello and welcome to Northants Authors YouTube channel. I'm Morgan Bailey, one of the authors of Northants Authors, and just here to tell you a little bit about us. We are a cooperative of mainly self-published but also traditionally published authors who live within the county of Northamptonshire, England, and have books, whether it's ebooks or paperbacks, for sale. We attend local events and it's great meeting our public. And of course they love the fact that they can have books signed by us to keep and read themselves or to give as presents. This series is a little way of getting to know us better and hear extracts from our books. I hope you enjoy. We hope you enjoy them.
Hi folks, my written name is Michael J. Richards. My friends call me Mike, so most people call me Michael J. Richards. I'm going to read the first chapter of my novella called Afterwards Our Buildings Shape Us. That's me on the front there. Afterwards Our Buildings Shape Us is from a speech by Winston Churchill in 1943 when they were talking about rebuilding the Palace of Westminster. And he actually said, we shape our buildings and afterwards our buildings shape us. I'm going to read the first chapter of this book. And the first chapter is called Gregory. Here we go. It's colder down here than I expected. I thought it might be cold, but not like this. I think this is the coldest it's ever been. I can feel damp coming through my trousers to the pores on the backs of my legs. A spider is crawling over my left hand. Spiders are my friends. But as it crawls over my left hand, I'm thinking it doesn't know we're supposed to be friends. Because if it knew, it wouldn't crawl over me like that. And now I can feel another creature, probably another spider, at least I hope it's another spider, climbing up the back of my neck. It feels as if it should tickle me, but it doesn't. It clambers up onto the back of my neck, up and over my right ear. It's balancing on the helix as if ready to jump. But it doesn't. Instead, it drops into my ear. Meanwhile, what I think is a spider on my hand has stopped. I don't move. I don't want to move. If I move, the point of my being here will be lost. I look up at the freezing darkness and can see the glimmer of stars shining from 1,000,000 miles away. So small from such a long distance away, and me so big close up, and the spider even smaller, yet it looms so large in my brain. I can smell the unforgiving earth beneath me, a mixture of unwashed socks after an afternoon walking through undergrowth, and a farmyard after incontinent cattle have staggered to the milking parlour. The creature in my ear has gone. The spider on my hand is still there. I hear heavy breathing, panting, as if someone has been running hard and halts out of breath. I look up. 2 luminous silver blue spots hover overhead. A sharp aroma of dog's breath travels down and gets at my nose and into my mouth. Something mutters a growl. Then I understand. It's a fox. It can smell me. The 2 spots come nearer, not so that it can see me better, but more probably to smell me more keenly. I hear a faint brushing as the growling turns into a whine. I'm worried it's going to jump down onto me, because if it does, then we're trapped and fighting each other, and I know I shall lose the fight. It will bite me and I'll catch rabies. The spider runs off my hand. Something small stings my nose, but I daren't make a sound. I don't want to worry the fox. I want it to go away. It doesn't move. I'm shivering, but I don't move. The silver blue spots draw back. The panting dies down. It's retreating. At least I hope it's retreating. I think it's gone. Another sting on my nose, and another. A trail of minute creatures makes its way across my right cheek. At the same time, the sensation of cold slime finds its way under my left trouser leg onto my skin and slithers up my shin to my knee. I need to take a pee, but who pees laying face up through their clothes if they can stand up and do it properly? Whatever's crawling up my leg has reached my thigh. The trail of biting creatures has gone up onto my head. I'm bald, so thank the Lord, whatever they are won't get lost in my hair. Thank the Lord? I'm shocked. I'm thanking a being for something which, even if it existed, would have no control over what is going on here tonight. Thank nothing. I put my palms face down flat in the mud. I bring my knees up and place the soles of my feet flat. I pull myself up. The creature in my leg has reached my groin. With my right hand I brush the insects clear off my head. I feel them as they fall. They're ants. Ants have been crawling over my face and head. I push up and stand. I undo my trousers and reach in and pull out whatever's been climbing up me. I hold it up in the dark light. It's a worm. A worm has been sliding up my leg. As I look up at the stars, I relieve myself. Good word, relieve. It's truly a blessed relief to be standing and getting rid of the mental and physical tension within me. I enjoy splashing into the mud around my feet. Once finished, I do myself up and stand on my toes to see up and about. There was a time when graves had to be 6 feet deep. Although that time has passed, I prefer the old traditions in my churchyard, so I've instructed the gardener to maintain that depth. He's a kindly soul, willing to please, so he does as he's told. This usually works well, except when I spend time in a prepared grave. I scramble up. I always find this the most difficult part of the night. Getting into a grave is easy. Anyone can do that. Staying down there is easy. But sometimes, depending on the conditions, getting out can be very troublesome. I'm out. It's dark. Very dark. No lights from my church. As it's on a hillock overlooking the village, no lights from there either. I'm glad about that. It doesn't take long for my eyes to get accustomed to the light of the night. There's a chill in the air, but nothing that I've not experienced before. My trousers, sweatshirt and jacket are covered in dirt. My hands are like mud cakes. Although I can't see my face, obviously, I can still feel a few ants. As I brush them off, I feel 2 or 3 scamper into my mouth. I swirl them around and swallow. That's them gone. In the dim darkness, I look down and see a spider scurrying across my right trainer. I drop down, crouch and cut my hand, so when it has climbed over, it falls into my entrapping palm. I stand up and raise it to my face. "Hello there," I whisper. "And how are you?" I still hold it still with my fingers. "On night patrol, eh?" I chuckle. "That's the only way to travel." I pop it in my mouth, chew too many times, savouring the moment, and then I swallow. It's it's really tasty. I sleep well into Saturday afternoon, exhausted by the previous night's vertiginous experiences. When I wake at about 2 o'clock, I realise I've not even started my sermon for tomorrow morning's service. Not that it matters. My parishioners won't notice if I pull out a previous sermon and deliver. Nevertheless, despite feeling as if I've a massive hangover, I make the effort. I take my text from John verses 9 to 10. If any man walk in the day, he stumbleth not, because he seeth the light of this world. But if a man walk in the night, he stumbleth, because there is no light in him. I write a rousing speech, full of theatrical rhetoric condemning the shadow of the valley of death to eternal damnation, lauding the parade of lightness we would all walk, given half the chance, imploring all to embrace the way of all truth by enshrouding one's soul in light and kindness and all-round goodness. Well, I think it's very appropriate. The 28 people in the congregation next morning don't agree. Mr. Phillips, bless him, not only falls asleep when I'm reaching the climax of my words, but emits continuous snoring, which, combined with Mrs. Prendergast's glorious musical farts, fills the Church of St. Giles with a humbling reminder that however spiritual our souls may aspire to become, our bodies anchor us in this wretched world of self-generating and desolate futility. Miss Kingsley is so upset by the whole event that when I'm standing at the church door after the service to greet each member of the congregation as they leave, she says, "Well, Vicar, how do you think that went?" It's not the words that pierce me, but the jubilation she injects into her poisonous sarcasm that hurts me most. Still, it's my job to be charitable, and Miss Kingsley is a troubled soul, always determined to find the worst in everyone. "Good morning, Miss Kingsley," I say. "I hope you're keeping well." "No, I'm not," she says, "and I didn't much like your sermon either." "I'm sorry to hear that. What didn't you like?" "All that stumbling about in the dark," she says. "Do you think I've come home from the pub and lost my front door key?" "We are all in the dark compared to the eternal likeness of our Lord," I say, trying my best to smile. "Huh," she snorts. "Some of us spend all our nights as well, don't we, Vicar, wandering around in the dark?" "I'm sure that's true," I say as offhand as I can. I don't want to get into discussions about the darkness of the soul, not when there are other people to talk to. "Mr. Tidyman, good morning. Thank you for coming. How's your pet piranha?"